Let's win NaNoWRIMO. Hey guys, I'm Marlene and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title of today's video, we're going to be talking about NaNoWRIMO and how to win it. So first, what is NaNoWRIMO? It is National Novel Writing Month. NaNoWRIMO is a charity that helps to motivate and train authors. Every year they have a novel writing month, and it's in November, where writers come together and try to write 50,000 words on any of their works in progress. There are also mini NaNoWRIMO events, Camp NaNoWRIMO in April and Camp NaNoWRIMO in July. Now, today I'm talking to you as someone who has never won NaNoWRIMO, so you might be asking yourself, well, why would I listen to your tips then? Here's the thing, I'm going to be trying to implement these tips in November this year, and I'm going to be vlogging it. So you get to see these tips, the things that I have developed to help myself to win NaNoWRIMO, and see if they actually work once we get there. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell so you don't miss any videos. I post new writing advice videos on Wednesdays and book reviews on occasional Fridays. Also remember that I offer professional editing and proofreading services. You can find out more at gentleseaediting.com, link in the description box below. And if you want to check out an adventure fantasy novel, a bulk of which I wrote during Camp NaNoWRIMO in April in 2020, check out my debut novel, To Wear a Crown. The Universal book link is in the description box below, and you can find it on any online retailer. You can also request it from your local bookstore or local library. So now, without further ado, 5 tips for winning NaNoWRIMO from someone who's only ever won Camp NaNoWRIMO. Tip number 1, plan ahead. Outline your novel. I don't know going into NaNoWRIMO whether you're starting a new project or whether you're going in to continue something that you've already been working on, but you need to have at least some of a plan, even if you are not a plotter but a pantser. So spend time before November, what we typically call Prep-tober, outlining your novel and what you need to write. Even if it is a very basic, loose outline, it really helps to just know what you're going to have to write next. Have a clear idea of where your story is heading. This will help you avoid writer's block and stay on track during the month of November. The other way to plan ahead is to set up some sort of schedule, to break down that big word count goal into smaller parts, whether that be daily or weekly or bi-daily, whatever works for you. Make sure that you plan how exactly you're going to achieve writing 50,000 words in 30 days. Tip number 2, set realistic goals. Determine your word count goal. Like I said, you can choose to do weekly or daily. I usually go with daily. So NaNoWRIMO's target word count is 50,000 words, but you can adjust this if you want to. You can say, I'm only going to go for writing 30,000 words. Make it as realistic as you can. So if you're trying to do the 50,000 words in 30 days, that averages around 1,667 words a day. But that doesn't mean you have to write exactly that much every day. In fact, I adjust quite heavily based on what's going on in my life during that month. So I know that on Saturdays, I'm going to be visiting my boyfriend's place, and I'm probably not going to be writing 3,000 words, but I can write 700 words. So then I work those extra words that I need to write into the other days when I know I'll have more time. Or if I have certain commitments and I know I'm not going to get a lot done that day, I reduce that word count. If there's specific days that I know there's nothing else happening, I place those extra words that I need to write with those days. So adjust to make it attainable, but make sure it's still a little challenging. I mean, that's kind of the point of NaNoWRIMO. Tip number 3, establish a writing routine. I am notoriously bad at this. I have for a very long time believed that having this kind of set routine, especially for me who's like doing this from home and this is my job, is like, why would I want to set a routine? It just takes all the fun out of it, takes all the creativity out of it. But honestly, this is probably why I have never won NaNoWriMo, aside from the fact that I've always had a job or exams in November as well. But let's see. Let's see if I can establish a routine in November and whether it works. I'm sure that it does work. I just don't know whether I'm necessarily the best person to implement it. But stay tuned and you'll see. Find your most productive writing times. Identify when you're most creative and focused, when writing just flows for you. And schedule your writing hours during these times to maximize your output. Consistency is the key to success. And it almost pains me to say this because I really want to tell myself that that's not true, but it is. So if you're someone who you're morning person, you're an early bird, and you want to write before you go to work, before your kids wake up, before you really have to do anything else for the day, and you want to wake up at 4:30, at 5, and write for an hour, for 2 hours before your day begins, and that works for you, and that's where you're at your most creative, schedule your writing for that time. If you're like me and you're a night owl who gets a second breath at 10 p.m. and your most creative times are between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., schedule your writing for that time. Obviously, if you can. I know a lot of people are hemmed in by office hours, by school hours, by university classes, whatever is in your schedule. And I get that. And that's a big reason why NaNoWriMo really hasn't worked for me in the past. But there are many, many people who have a full-time job or who have a family who still manage to do NaNoWriMo. So I'm sure that establishing some sort of routine is possible. Tip number 4, minimize distractions. Easier said than done. Create a distraction-free environment. Now, I am fully convinced that I have undiagnosed ADHD, so this is pretty important for me to do. Turn off social media. Mute notifications and eliminate any other potential distractions. Consider using website blockers or writing apps that encourage focus. So there's this app that you can get, the name of which I cannot remember right now, but it's essentially you grow a little tree, you set a timer, and then if you manage to stay focused within that time, you grow a little tree, and so you build this little forest. And it doesn't allow you to go out of that app for anything other than, an emergency. So a lot of people use this. I've used it before. Some people use just like a physical timer so they don't even have to look at their phone. Some people choose those little word processor stuff to write on where you can only see like one sentence of what you've written at a time. With Scrivener, you can put your writing pad into full screen mode where you don't see any tools, any options or buttons to click. It's literally just a white page and you can write on it, and you can even change the color if you don't like a white page. Identify the things that really, really distract you when you're trying to write a lot of words and try to eliminate them from your space during NaNoWriMo at least. Tip number 5, don't edit as you go. Now, a lot of people throw around this tip. I firmly also believe in it, but I get that it doesn't work for everyone. But I think with NaNoWriMo, it's quite important to do because NaNoWriMo is about quantity, not quality. Write without worrying about perfection. It doesn't matter if what you're writing is good or not. That's not the point of NaNoWriMo. The point of NaNoWriMo is to get a certain amount of words. You can edit and revise your work later. December, Jan, Feb, that's what those months are for. November is just for getting the words out on the page. So trust your creative flow and just keep moving forward. And then this isn't really a tip, but remember to enjoy it. Writing is supposed to be fun, even if it's your job, even if it becomes something you really, really, really want to finish. Writing is still supposed to be fun, and NaNoWriMo is kind of a collective fun experience for the writing community. So connect with people who are doing it with you. Check out the NaNoWriMo websites for some great resources and for tracking your progress. And keep your eye on the prize, a finished manuscript, hopefully at the end of November. So that's it. Those are my very hopeful 5 tips for winning NaNoWriMo. I want to say good luck. Follow me along on the journey during the month of November when I will be vlogging my own attempt to finally win NaNoWriMo now that I don't have a job or exams during November. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have any additional tips, if you've won NaNoWriMo before, if this is your first time, if you've never won it but you have tried. You know, we're all here to learn from each other. As always, you can also find me on my website, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, and BookBub. All the links are in the description box below. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.